Okay, so chapter 335 of the Black Clover manga had just recently dropped, so we're about to dive right in. Go ahead and leave a like on the video, but without further ado, let's get straight to it. I gotta say, this arc has quickly took quite the left turn, and this is definitely not something that I'm used to due to the fact that in the past Tabata hasn't really went this route. But it is of course a pretty interesting experience. So last chapter we get to see Asta face off against Lucius one-on-one, and that got put to an end pretty quickly right after he had purified Sister Lily. He definitely killed two birds with one stone there. Not only has he acquired a little sidekick for him, but that also played as a distraction and allowed him to one-shot Asta. Now this definitely came as a surprise to me, the fact that the main character just gets one-shotted. We're about only a few chapters into this new arc, and yeah, things went 0 to 1,000 in like no time at all. I mean, fortunately he's not dead though, of course, but you know, he is definitely out for the count. Yeah, he's not moving an inch. It really sucks though, because right after he hits the ground, Noelle comes to his aid. She literally could have been like 5 seconds, like not even, if that, like a little sooner. Should have been some type of help, but just that few seconds of lag and Asta's like down for the count.
You gotta be quicker than that, buddy.
Now I'm thinking Noelle was going to land this attack due to it being kind of a surprise, but Sister Lily just casually stopped it with one hand. I would have thought Lucius would have been the one to do it, but he just let her handle it. But what's odd here is she's not using her water magic that we're used to seeing her use. She straight up whips out a spatial magic spell, which is of course like not even something we ever saw her use, only to find out that Lucius granted her Beelzebub's power.
You what?
Now I'm thinking Sister Lily was just gonna get an amp in her magic power, but this is a boost I would have not imagined her getting. The fact that him altering her soul allows her to use Beelzebub's spatial magic just instantly puts her to Magic Knight Captain level. Like, that is insane. And to top it all off, he literally got her to that level by just tapping her and then altering her soul. So it only takes us a few seconds, if that. And Sister Lily was never known to be much of a powerhouse, so who could imagine what would happen if he got someone who was capable and gave them the magic of another devil? That would be quite interesting, to say the least. Nonetheless, we got Noelle here asking all the right questions, because this is what I was wondering. She's questioning what he's doing and how is he even able to do all this. And Lucius reveals that he took control of all the supreme devils in the underworld, as well as the ones in the lower levels, which actually explains a lot, because I noticed that he beat Lucifero quite easily in the underworld, which was quite odd considering the fact how easily Lucifero overpowered all the Magic Knights. But that explains a lot. If he was able to garner the power of all the other supreme devils using all those hacks against Lucifero, he definitely would have put up a fight. Also considering the fact that he has time magic on his side, so one could imagine how good of a synergy that is. Not only that, but now that he's acquired all that power, I'm assuming he's going to just build an army of his own and then just conquer the world, so this is pretty terrifying. I mean, we've seen what Sister Lily is capable of, so he's definitely got it up his sleeve. Now what Lucius says here is quite the shocker. He says, using the devils, humanity will ascend to a new, higher life forms, with 9 invincible bodies and boundless wisdom. Sister Lily was the first of her kind, the Paladins, so he plans to make an army of Paladins and then purify everyone. So that's interesting. But what stood out to me was the fact that he stated that they would have 9 invincible bodies, and I'm assuming that's kind of something he's trying to use to combat against illness and maybe injury, because he, you know, plans to take over the world and purify everyone. So I'm guessing that's something he has in store for all the humans on the planet. Definitely an interesting way to go about things. And Lucius of course plans to rule over this newly created world, known as not just the Wizard King, but the greatest Wizard King. We see also on the ground is sweating bullets. He's like, man, I cannot let this slide. He's like speechless too. He can't muster up any words after what he just heard. Now Mimosa and Nero try to go in to aid Asta, but I don't think they noticed the change in Sister Lily, seeing as they tried to go like right past her, not knowing that she was going to stop them.
Uh-oh, retard alert!
And of course with these, she just whips out a spatial magic spell and stops them in their tracks. And she uses a quite familiar spell, spatial magic, sacred mana domination, which is the same spell that Zenon used against Yuno. But unlike Yuno, Noelle's magic is unraveling inside the spatial magic domination. So Yuno definitely is like a special breed. That's crazy, because if we remember in the fight between him and Zenon used the same spell, but Yuno is unaffected due to the fact that he's blessed by the mana. So even though Noelle is royalty, I guess that doesn't matter. I think it's more due to the fact that the mana just courses through Yuno differently, I guess.
I'm built different.
Nonetheless, it definitely seems that Sister Lily is no longer the same. Like, she is completely obedient and loyal to Lucius, like within a matter of seconds. I'm guessing he also altered his mind, because we do have to remember that he altered not just her mind or her body, it was her entire soul. So I'm assuming this transcends any like type of bodily function, so this is definitely beyond mind control. It seems like he straight up just turned her into a different person. But it does seem as though she still has feeling for Asta, seeing as she says that she's sorry that he has to be the death that'll usher peace upon the world. And then Asta's of course shocked by that. He's like, sister, I swear I'll save. He's cut off, of course, as she straight up just snaps him out of existence. Well, of course, I guess she's using spatial magic, but he's out of there. Yeah, this is definitely an interesting turn. For the main protagonist to just be gone like that. It was like a snap and he was just gone. Bro just gets one-shotted and he's snapped out of existence. Yeah, it's definitely wild. The fight lasted only a chapter and just like that, he's gone in the next one. Truly is a shame, but I guess on the bright side, we do get to see the capabilities of the other Magic Knights now. There are a few of them we haven't seen in action yet, so definitely looking forward to that. And just as Asta snapped away, Lucius states that Judgment Day will arrive in 7 days, so he's giving them a week before he, I guess, conquers the planet. Or a crusade, should I say. He says he already knows how things are going to turn out due to his visions. Using his time magic, of course, he can see into the future, and he also foresaw that they would combat against them. Just as all the Magic Knight captains arrive to the battlefield, and he turns and says, ladies and gentlemen, as he of course knew of their arrival. And of course they recognize him as Julius, but he's no longer Julius, he's Lucius, and it seems like they're just too late, because in the last panel here they seem to just vanish and the spatial magic spell wears off as well. So yeah, that's just pretty hilarious to me. I don't know why, it's just they took out the main protagonist just like that and they're just gone. They should have abducted that boy. Now what would be interesting is if they try to purify Asta. Now I'm definitely wondering to see how that would work out. Not really sure what they plan to do with him, but I guess they just needed to get him out of the way so that they could start their crusade. So, but yeah, 7 days and it starts. So it looks like they got a little bit of time to prepare. So let's see what happens. Alright, well, just like that, and Asta is gone. Well, if you made it this far, I appreciate you sticking around. Go ahead and use all your mana on that like button, I greatly appreciate it. Consider subscribing and lets me know that I should be making more Black Clover content. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.